Show live from the Messenger Studios. They've got the scoop. Grab your papers and get Earlene and Stephen Show live from the Messenger Studios. Papers and get in the loop. Breaking news. Make the perfect pair from Meade County straight to you. It's the show where stories come true. La, la, la.
Hey, we are live in studio and remotely actually today. I've got Stephen Spohn on with me and for Earlene. Welcome to the show, Stephen.
Thank you, boss. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you, man. You and I have served a long time together, from military to careers, and now we're working together again in the news. That's the news across the Meade Nation. Isn't that awesome?
Yes, sir. I do appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, I do too. Thank you every day. We have a special guest in the studio audience today. You want to give her a big introduction?
Yeah, so with us today, we have Miss Whitney Lewis, and kind of give an intro how I ended up meeting her, and then I wrote an article on her is back, if you recall, when we had some of the riverside flooding in March, April time frame. I just went down to the riverfront down there by the Civil War Monument and just did a quick, live stream of the water, show people how it was kind of progressing, for one, so they could see, and two, hopefully cut down on some of the rubberneckers going down there, the traffic down there. But, it was just a quick, 10, 15 second clip, not much. But I guess Whitney probably saw it, and I was kind of blind to it in the video, but there was heaps of trash, on the riverbank just from all the washout, from all the streams and creeks that had washed up there. And lo and behold, about 2 or 3 other days past that video, I see another video of this lady just walking around in waders on that riverfront hauling out bags of trash, and I'm like, that person's got it going on, because I didn't even recognize the trash. I'd become so unaware of it as just our culture has become, and here she is doing this. So I dug a little deeper and saw her Facebook page that she had set up, and I was like, well, I need to get in touch with her so we can do a little story. And we met down at Otter Creek, and she's kind of probably nervous at first because it's very isolated down there by that boat, but we did talk. We did the article, but it's a great story how she got started in this movement. The things on the surface right here, she's not just some college kid, trying to change the world one thing at a time. She's a mother of children, and she's out here doing this. And with that, Whitney, you want to share a little bit before we get started here about how you started this journey, the Earth Day connection for you?
Yes. Well, my name is Whitney Lewis, and if someone had told me 10 years ago I'd be doing what I'm doing now, I'd have told them they were crazy. But I was born on Earth Day, April 22nd. I used to wonder why. Now it makes sense. I always, when I went kayaking, I would take a grocery bag or two with me, and I'd pick up trash along the way, because I picked up treasures like, pretty rocks or pieces of driftwood. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be taken from Mother Nature, the least I could do is give back a little. And I started a Facebook page called Sunkyst, Sticks and Stones, and it was really aimed towards the treasures that nature provides. But I decided at March 23rd of 2023 to do an Earth Day challenge, and start counting those bags that I was picking up. And at the time, like I said, I was picking up 1 or 2 bags. But the challenge was I wanted to pick up 500 bags from March 23rd to April 22nd. I surpassed that goal with 750 bags picked up. 250 of them on my birthday.
You met that challenge.
Yes, I did. I woke up April 23rd and I thought, what am I going to do today? I've been chasing these bags for a month straight. And so I went out and I just kept on going. And during that first month, it was unreal, the impact that it had on people. I can remember being at Cedar Creek Lake and a gentleman coming as I'm cleaning up. I had cleaned up like 50 bags and came with it all loaded up on my kayak, and he was kind of taken back. But I was nice to everybody that was there. I never complain or say anything about, don't throw that down or whatever. And I'm cleaning up the trash, and he comes over and he's like, ma'am, I am so sorry. I just threw this water bottle down. And I thought right then, oh my gosh, I literally just changed this adult's way of thinking.
Yeah.
Your
behavior.
How amazing is that, know? And so I continued with that, and then people started joining in, and they wanted to help me get to. I started a 10,000 goal, 10,000 bags before the end of the year, and it was just amazing the outpour of support that I had from Kentucky, and how much people were taking now. They were aware.
Yeah.
You know, usually you just drive down the road with these blinders on. You don't.
It's just
see,
there, just
yeah.
become part of what.
Even when you're kayaking, you know, you're just blinders are on. You're enjoying the creek or the river. You don't think about what's over there on the
Pizza boxes,
side. Yeah,
food bags.
exactly. Yes. So that's how it got started.
Yeah. Now, with that, you know, you started the Cleaner Kentucky Inc.
Yes.
So the nonprofit that you set up, and it's also got a Facebook and some social media out there. And then from what I've watched, this grow. Like people are going on there sharing their stories of cleanups, and they're amazing stories. The guy with the tires just going about just finding these
50,000 tires.
50,000 tires that he's cleaning
Yes.
in Kentucky. So I mean, you've kind of started this reinterest in,
Yes.
like I would call it like the 70s era of like we're going to take care of
That's right.
of what is ours that kind of just fell by the wayside. But
A Mother Nature approach, right?
oh yeah,
And
yeah.
and you know, people call me an environmentalist, and
I
I don't know.
I don't
for
think.
sure that term fits.
Yeah, no,
I am a lover of Mother Nature.
A
Like
concerned
I want
human
to,
being.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just love, and I want to show my appreciation and respect for it. I mean, there's so many people that visit these public places, and then they, you know, it may not be them throwing the trash out on purpose, but they lose a beer can while they're going down the river or what have you.
Yeah.
You know, you need to give back. You know, you get to visit these places for free.
Right.
You know, there's, yeah, I feel like there has to be some kind of payment for that. You know,
Well,
some kind of
yeah.
respect. You know.
I think it's interesting because right if you're a kayaker too out there and you're paying attention, when you're going down the road of kayaking, you know, if you're not wearing water shoes, you're wearing water shoes for a reason, because you know you can't walk in the creeks anymore. You might step on a piece of glass or something like that, and it's that elimination of that thought or fear that, you know, I may not step on a piece of glass today. And even in water shoes, it's not the perfect remedy, right? Because you could still step on a piece of glass or a sharp object. And to your point, it's not like everybody always throws something away, but they do lose items because of, you know, maybe they packed a little bit more than they should have. But, you know, that goes back to good management, though. If you pack it in, you pack it out, right? I think it's amazing that you're standing up and making these goals like this. I know that my boys and even my little girl, she sees a piece of trash and the first thing she does is pick it up, and then she's like launching for a trash can, and I'm like, well, pick up 2 more and then go to the trash can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Save yourself a trip. But I mean, you're doing this in bags. How many do you think you've carried out on your kayak?
Oh, good Lord.
What is
well,
the
okay,
total?
I've picked up 27,500 and something. It's hard for me to keep up with the number too.
Yeah.
Because it changes every day. But I use grocery bags. So everybody has an abundance of those. They're free. They use them for their trash cans in their bathrooms, you know, and just like going back to your little girl picking up 1 piece and going to the trash can. If you have a grocery bag, you can pick up 10 pieces and throw that bag in the trash can on the way, you know. But I would say with that 27,000, I'm going to be modest here. I would say I've probably picked up a third of that and hauled it on all blue. I got mounds of trash. And the cool thing about it is when I come up to the boat ramps, it's usually sunset time and everybody's trying to get their boats out. And it's just like, they don't even know what to say or think. I can hear them whispering like, what is this lady doing? You know?
What everybody should be doing.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And, you know, here's another thing you were talking about, you know, people bringing more than they should. It's not just that. You know, you flip your boat. Like this happened to me not long ago. A friend was with me, flipped his boat. I caught everything but one croc that didn't float, you know.
Yeah.
But I've never met anybody in my life that hasn't lost something. And all these people are like, you know, I can't stand litter bugs. Well, hold on a minute.
Not always just
There's
litter bugs.
7 billion people on this planet. And if we've all lost one item, that's 7 billion pieces. You know, so you're not higher than those. You know, if you've lost one item, let's pick up 10 to rectify that one
Yeah,
item.
sure.
You know?
That's a
just
great
makes
point.
sense.
Yeah, and it has become a generational thing because we, you know, kind of sitting at this table, you know, kind of grew up with a big owl with a green hat telling us, you know, give a hoot, don't pollute. But
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the last time I seen good old Woodsy
Yeah.
out there. You know, a generation kind of has kind of forgot, what our stewardship to our environment is. It is sometimes it's incidental things, but
Yes,
there is purposeful and intentional littering.
absolutely.
But what I like with Whitney is she's advocating for this through her actions, not necessarily standing on soapboxes, accusing people of poor behaviors and choices. She's just out there cleaning up. And
Just
now
trying to
you
make a
do have,
difference.
yeah,
Keeping positive. I think that's important too. When you do this, okay, like I don't go at it with judgment. If I went at it with judgment while I'm out there cleaning up, if I was out there saying, oh, this
these
guy
people.
just, I wouldn't enjoy doing what I do.
Yeah, you're just
You
out there in
know,
nature, just
I just
loving
out
it.
there doing it. And then it's unreal when you see these people. I almost can feel their shame. I can almost feel somebody has done something wrong when I got there, because I'm all nice to them and I can just tell they're like, man, I should have
That
just
water
let him
bottle
go.
I dropped 10
That's
years ago, I'm
right.
feeling bad now.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
What's
And
the number one piece of trash that you find often? What's the one that's the most often piece of trash?
plastic bottles,
Yeah, I figured.
or I mean, there would be like I would say plastic bottles, beer cans, fireball shots.
Oh yeah.
10 to 1, there are 10 in a box. So
Kentucky.
yes, I find a lot of
That's
that.
anywhere. That's not just Kentucky. I think that's a
Yeah.
float trip requires alcohol on some level.
That's right. With a lot of people, and then they don't want to get in trouble because they don't want an open container in their, boat or vehicle or whatever. I think there's a lot of things that need to change, and I'm hoping that somebody listens to me at some point because I think that we could make a big difference with some of the ideas that I have.
Yeah.
Like paying the deposit on the cans and the bottles. They got these counties get all this funding for litter cleanup, and they use it to funnel to nonprofits. Well, what if we just did 10 cents a can for all those thousands of dollars you have for people turning them cans and they get 10 cents,
Yeah.
I got a lot of ideas, but anyway,
Well, I know two people I can put you in connection with.
that'd be amazing.
Well, one's right next door. She's our local state representative, and the other one is Judge Executive Koch. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but the recycling in Meade County is the regional premier recycling point for recycling in all of Meade County, which I think is a huge milestone for that team and that department and the work they've done. Despite the minor fires that break out over there, and again, that's a whole nother thing, right? Like depositing proper materials in the trash where they go, not mixing batteries with trash because they explode now, right? But I know that dropping off the bottles and the cans bring money into the county just from the recycle of aluminum and stuff. So you're absolutely right. There is more that we can do, especially in Meade County and our surrounding neighbors, especially for our waterways and tributaries.
Well, Meade County should be very proud because they are a staple. I speak to a lot of, like I've made connections with a lot of the solid waste coordinators, and Meade County is talked about at every single county I go to.
Yeah, Jacob
Just
Butler
because
does
of
really
the
well.
amazing job that they have done with recycling. And you were talking about the judge executive. Well, the meeting that I went to with the solid waste management team, the judge executive from Meade County followed me out. And me and him sat out there and talked for probably about an hour. Yeah, he was awesome. Like, he's all about it. And he's like, let's do a cleaner Meade County. I was like, let's do it,
Yeah.
So we've got some things in the works.
Good.
But I'm proud of Meade County because they are the staple and the leader in the state of Kentucky for recycling.
And you said you have an affinity for the area because when you were a young girl, you would often come here. What was that like? You want to share that?
I was born and raised in Hardin County. Meade County, obviously, is
Right
the
there,
adjoining
yeah.
county, and it's the place where you go to Otter Creek to play in the creeks and do all that. My dad was a huge nature fan, so we grew up. I was a tomboy. I'm sliding down the hills in the mud. And it kind of has something to do with how I do it now, being out there in the waders and all that. I kind of learned that from him. So, yeah, my dad passed when I was 12. So it's almost like when I go back to these places here in Meade County, it's like going
Fond
back
memories.
to childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, very fond memories. I love Meade County, and it is a hidden gem. Many people don't know how beautiful it is, the waterfalls, and it's just
Streams, the riverfront, all we have.
unreal. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
it is a beautiful
absolutely
place. We just
beautiful.
got to take care of it.
That's right.
Hey, as you're helping us all do it.
Hey, I'm going to ask a question. So, what are your favorite floats, rivers for our kayakers and canoers out there? And where can we meet you on a river to go float and carry a grocery bag and help? I'd love to help coordinate a big float trip somewhere, and we all just show up for all the kayakers in Meade County and just do a tussle. You know?
I'm down.
Yeah.
Nolan River's my favorite,
Okay.
my all-time favorite, and that is where I fell in love with kayaking.
Okay.
And I don't always share all my spots because
Yeah.
I don't want, I don't
Yeah.
want.
I have one as well. It's probably similar. It's up in West Virginia. Of course, I haven't found anything to match it yet, so I'm definitely gonna have to find out about your Nolan River trip. Where do you drop in, and where do you take out?
You haven't been to Nolan River?
I have not. Well, I had 3 children come into my life that changed it drastically.
I understand that.
Some of our I got to go with my boys for the first time last year with the church up at Blue River up in Indiana.
That's pretty.
Yeah, and but I've been an avid kayaker from all of my moves around the East Coast. But the one landing spot I've always gone to was the Potomac River, and it's called the South Branch. It headways out of West Virginia, and it comes through what's called the Trough. There's 1,500 feet on one side and 1,500 on the other, and the only way you get through that canyon is either by canoe or scenic railroad. And there's 50 bald eagles nests through there now, and it's absolutely just breathtaking. But to your point, the number of experienced kayakers that have probably turned over in a couple of swell spots. It's an AB river. It's no class 1, 2, or 3, but it does have some swells when the waters are up, right? And
Yes.
they turn a kayak sideways and they'll get wrapped around a rock all the time. And then you see it at the lower drops where some of that stuff's made it down, and you just pick it up and throw it in your kayak and take it out with you. But so Nolan River is on my bucket list to get in the near future. Is it like you got?
Mills
Go ahead. I'm
Christian
sorry.
Camp. At White Mills Christian Camp, there's a ramp you can put in at.
Okay.
And then I take out at Webb Mill Road. They used to call it the outhouse, but the outhouse is gone now. There used to be a little outhouse there, pull off.
Okay.
If you want coordinates, I'll be more than happy to provide.
Love.
Because I promise you would love it. It is. I haven't. It's unmatched to me. I've been a lot of places. I've been to Green River. I've been, on all the lakes. But Nolan is just absolutely special. You're
Yeah.
talking about bald eagles. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been floating along and feel like something's watching me, and I look up and boom, there it is.
Yeah.
And I called 3 deer to my boat out there. It was the most magical moment of my
Oh
life.
wow.
They literally came so close to me. I had to go out in the water because I was scared they were going to kick me.
Yeah.
But I felt like Snow White. You know what I mean? I was like, this is totally awesome. Yeah.
Very
It was
nice.
a definite blessing. It's just a beautiful rural river, and you're talking clear. When it's down to its normal level, it is crystal clear.
Sure.
And there's times where you'll go down through there and there's like gar, and they look like mini dolphins coming up out of the water, and there's like hundreds of them. It's just it's absolutely magical. You have to go to Nolan River.
Love kayaking. Absolutely.
Changed life.
And it makes a difference too when it's clean and you see that it's clean. There's nothing worse than seeing a whole bunch of stuff on the sides floating up. Darren, to Stephen's point, Stephen, when we saw the floods and some of the pictures you took, even just on that bridge and the city work that went into cleaning up the stuff, or not the bridge, the ramp down by the statue and the businesses that are down there on the riverfront. All that trash that gets washed up on a river, the debris, not just from trash, but wood and all that other stuff. Wood's more of a natural product, of course, but those plastic bottles are harmful to the animals and stuff like that, especially where you see. But I was telling, I've been down to Green River too, I should say. We stayed at the Yogi Bear, and of course there's a windy road that gets you back into the state park. It's tough to get to, but once you get down there and you drop and come back out of the state park ramp, I think it's a 7-mile float. But even through the Green River in these state parks, you'll find the same problems.
Yeah.
To her point, somebody's got to pick it up. And if you love the sport of just floating and kayaking and enjoying nature from that scenic point of view, I can't think of anything better that you could give back. I almost feel guilty now that I haven't carried more bags out after seeing your story, scrolling through the work you've done on Facebook. It's just absolutely amazing. How fast did your Facebook grow once you started getting to the thousands of bags?
Rapidly.
Yeah.
Uh, rapidly. I don't know. I want to say I went from like 1,000 followers to 10,000 in that first month. Uh, and it then it does slow down. I think I'm at like 33,000 now, but I'll send out a video and then it'll get 1.7 million
Yeah.
views, and then you jump up 5,000 followers. So that's amazing.
And you've been recognized in the local media too.
Yes.
So I know you've done things through the Kentucky Educational Television, KET.
Yes, yes.
You've also were recognized by Governor Bashir
Yeah.
with the
I cried.
Beautify the Bluegrass Award.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Elaborate on that. How's that award work, or what is that all about?
It's through the Kentucky Living magazine.
Okay.
And I had no idea it existed, but one of my followers, I think it was like month 2, was like, "Hey, there's this Beautify the Bluegrass," and it was a voting
Okay.
thing. When I got there to the Capitol, the people that were in the running with me, I kind of felt bad because they were like, everybody told us we ain't gonna beat this trash lady. Yeah. And the people from Kentucky Living, they were like, we've never had so many votes. They've been doing this for like 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was. I really didn't expect to win.
Yeah.
But it did a lot for the movement. There was some credit given then.
Yeah.
Because. You've been honored by the governor at this point, then obviously you're legit.
You're legit, and
Yeah,
people are following.
exactly.
Trust is the big
That's
thing.
right.
People
That's
want to,
right.
because you do take a lot of donations.
Yes.
And you want people to know, like,
going for-
I'm just not taking your money.
Yes.
And,
It's going for good. That's
Yeah.
what I tell them too. That's literally my reply when they.
And you did set up as a nonprofit,
Yes.
Specifically so people could do donations.
I found though that a lot of people don't even care about
They
that.
really, at the end of the day, I don't know.
They see what I'm
for
doing
tax.
and they don't. It's amazing. It really is. But I show it.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
that's the big thing.
You're
show
very
it.
transparent with your
Yeah.
post about what you're doing. It's not like, well, I got your money.
Right.
Well,
Promise
speaking
never-
of money is what keeps nonprofits going. How can they make a donation to you right now?
I have a GoFundMe set up. I have PayPal Give, which is only for nonprofits, so they get their tax deducting sheet. And I do take mail-in. I'm working on a PO box because there's a lot of people that don't like to do the electronic.
They'll write a check. Yes,
Right.
they do.
So I'm gonna get me a PO box set up as well. It's amazing how many cards I get. I have to say that too,
Yeah.
from all over the United States, Washington State. It's unreal. It is. It's spreading everywhere.
I would tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't create a national event right here in Kentucky, harbored just from your 33,000 followers, given just the information that we know about you, and my experience in marketing and Stephen's experience in marketing. In this kayaking community and our love for paddling down these waterways and tributaries, it wouldn't surprise me if you couldn't have the first ever largest tributary cleanup right down the Ohio River, or even one bigger, and just shut it down for a day just to watch that many paddlers going down the river and clean up from Louisville to wherever.
My dream.
That would be it, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's go.
I want to do a trash tournament. So you've heard of bass tournaments?
Yeah.
I want to do a trash
You
tournament.
can haul in the largest catch.
That's right.
Without
That's right.
drowning your canoe or kayak.
No. Here's the deal. If we did a trash tournament, it would have to be the smaller items.
Yeah.
Especially for kayaking and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it makes
So
sense.
I would do it by bag instead of weight.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Bag.
actually, I've been talking to L8 about that.
Okay.
L8 and I have been talking.
Yeah, nice.
Which is amazing.
Getting business sponsorships or
Yes.
or
It's
credit
huge.
funding. Yeah.
But they definitely are interested in the trash tournaments. I'd like to do like 4 a year in
Okay.
different regions of Kentucky.
Yeah. I know you're all over the state.
That's
it's not
right.
just like I'm just staying in my little
No, I like
4
to go
county or
everywhere.
5 county. You're everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, Whitney, you said you have a GoFundMe on Facebook. So have
Yes.
you set up a website yet, or done any of that work yet?
No.
All right. Well, you and I are going to be talking very soon, so we can get that done and taken care of, so we can help you.
I would love it.
We can
I
help
would
you.
love it. I don't have all the technical, and that's the thing. Like, I even sat down with some people about the grants, and I worked 16 hours, and I just looked at the lady and I was like, look, in the last 16 hours, you much trash I could have picked up, like,
Yeah.
I just want to get out there and I just want to do it,
Well, we will help show you the way on that. I mean, I got into this business to help exactly what the cause is that you're doing. You know, the newspaper is a platform. This media that we're doing right now is a platform. You know, I've got some great partners that have some amazing reach. That same judge you talked to is one of my partners in this industry. So, and so is Nancy Tate. So they play their role and I play mine, and you know, we make a beautiful. You know, our nonprofits, believe it or not, are the ones that are really doing the work, you know, with less bureaucracy than what we see in government sometimes. And
that's the way you want. You
yeah.
want to rely less on the government and be more
That's right.
self-producing. I mean, that's the goal of is not to be over-governed and over,
Yeah.
you know, bureaucratic in the process.
Yeah.
So the more we have people from either grassroots or through charitable organizations, nonprofits doing the work, that's how America thrives.
Yes.
Not creating tax increases to fund these programs. So.
100%. 100%.
And I'm totally down for the help. I would appreciate it. Like I said, I'm just out here doing what I'm doing, and I don't have all the professionalism about it.
And you do have an immediate need, because if you're following along kind of on her story recently, we had a little tragedy strike in our vehicle department. Do you want to explain what happened there? She's sad about it. She doesn't like to talk about it.
I'm so sad. It's like my best friend has passed. My little CRV, I've put, and matter of fact, we were on our way to Land Between the Lakes, and I told Kendall, I was like, we're at 399,500 miles. Look at this thing. Yeah. And we got down there and never had an inclination of any kind of issue. And we parked, it wouldn't start, and it was a nightmare from that point forward.
You know, that's a prominent vehicle in the kayaking community, right next to the Subaru Outbacks, right? And the yeah, it's crazy.
See, I'm searching right now for my next SUV, and the Subaru is totally
To get Blue in there and get the trash bag.
That's right.
She needs something. I mean, it's not just like I just want a new
Right.
vehicle or a reliable. She does it because it's hindered her cause a little bit to keep cleaning. She's.
I have a truck that was donated. I call her Maroony because that's what they call her. But she is. She has lots of character. She's a 1998 F-150 with 248,000 miles on it, and since my transmission went out in my CRV, that's what I've been driving, and there's no air.
Does it get hot in Kentucky?
Oh man, it gets hot. It gets real hot. You know, I'm
100 degrees next week, I heard. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm very thankful to be near the waterways because I jump in there before I head down the road so I can get a cool down, you know. But Maroony is, I gotta use her locally because she's got lots of
but we need
little
to help
issues.
Help get you something a little bit more reliable.
Hey, well, you know what? We'll get out those calls to some Honda dealerships. Maybe we get you a new CRV. Wouldn't that be awesome? Hey, couple of things I want to make sure we ask is who are your top volunteers right now? I know you can't do this alone, and you got a lot of people that are helping. Who are your top volunteers that you wanted to shout out to?
Teresa Rakes in Lexington. That sweet soul goes out every single day and cleans up in her neighborhood. She's amazing. Then there's Lake Cumberland, Sarah McMullen and Monty. They go out on their pontoon and carry in refrigerators and freezers. I mean, they are unstoppable.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really do have a great village. And the thing about it is they go out on their own time. So, you know, it takes a lot to organize all these group cleanups, you know, and I've done it over and over again. And then there's like 5 people that show up, you know, and it's disheartening. So I do like to promote for people to go out, you know, and do it while they're on their own, just one grocery bag, because what a difference we could make if we all picked up one grocery bag.
Take the family out on a nice walk to the local park and look around.
And it's almost like a treasure hunt. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I call it my fishing. But I don't have to wait for a bite. You know?
You don't need to buy bait either. It's already out there for you.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's Matthew Bill. He shows up to every single event I have. He's followed me all over the state. There's just some really dedicated and.
Do you have any Meade County heroes out here?
Meade County heroes. There's a lady that comes down here from time to time.
Yeah, I've seen a few down there.
The gentleman that does the photography, Adam Vessels.
Okay, Adam Vessels, yes.
Yes. Him and his daughters, I think daughters.
Yes.
Daughters, They were picking up down here too. Riverview Cafe.
Oh yeah.
Big supporters.
Bruce
they even got their own grabby sticks. Yeah, I took them some grabby sticks. But there's a lot of people that support me here in Meade County. But most of the time, it's just, you know, a post on a Cleaner Kentucky, like, hey, we picked this up today.
Here we are, and you can share your journey there on your Facebook page, so everybody can get the thumbs up and the hearts and the smiley faces.
That's right.
When is your next event?
Don't have one right now.
Okay. All right, and then you had somebody else. I didn't mean to cut you off. Who were you going to mention next?
Oh, I don't even know.
Okay.
I don't know.
But there's a ton of people out there. I mean, it's not just the followers. There are people in there that are following, that are part of the people that are out there making a difference, just like you.
Right. And then they're not always posting about it, you know, because a lot of times they're out on the water.
Yeah.
So they don't have their phones or what have you. And so they'll just comment and say, you know, hey, this weekend I picked up a bag of trash. Or, hey, Whitney, you know, now that you've been cleaning up on Lake Cumberland, everybody's paying attention to, you know, the
It
trash.
looks nice now. We want to keep it nice.
Yeah, exactly. But and here's another thing too, you know, just like you were talking about the state parks, how they have trash in them. You just can't stop that water from bringing trash in.
Yeah.
You know,
It's gonna happen.
So it just keeps coming, and that's exactly what Officer Wimpy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the
Sheriff?
I would. Yeah, well, he didn't know who I was, and I was here one day, and I'm dumping trash, and I looked horrible because it had rained. I mean, I had anyway. He pulls up and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Dumping your trash." And he was like, well, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh,
You can't dump trash. That's illegal. No,
That's what he pretty much was saying, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I've been down at the Ohio River cleaning up." He's like, "Well, you know, it's just going to keep coming." I said, "I'll just keep coming back."
Oh,
And
that's
he
it.
you know, he after that, me and him became buddies.
Yeah, Sheriff
Yeah.
Wimpy's he's good. Once
yeah.
he finds out what you're doing, but he is
That's
concerned.
right.
Like this.
Like, hey, hold on, what is it? Well, and then, like I told you, Marooney, she
That-
looks a little troublesome, you know.
Looks a
And then
little
I've got
sketchy.
makeup all over my face, and my hair's wet, and I'm sure he was probably like, "Who is this lady? What is she?" doing?" You know. So, and Marooney don't have an exhaust. She's pretty loud too.
Oh yeah.
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 So, but she gets the job done.
Yeah. We'll use
Well-
Marooney when we can, but
Yes.
we definitely need to look at a long term.
That's
If,
right.
if you're out there and you're watching this and you're a car dealer or somebody like that, you want to make a donation to her, you
Yeah.
can check her out on her Facebook. What's the Facebook page again?
Sun-kissed Sticks and Stones.
Which I love this name because it's not Sunkist like the drink. It's Kyst.
There.
And it's a very cool spelling. I think that was very catchy for you to do that.
Thank
But if you go and look them up, you'll be able to see them on their social media. Hopefully, we might be able to help them get a little bit further with their marketing side, so we can help make more of our waterways much better in Kentucky. And I think that's amazing that you got recognized by the state and in that competition. In fact, your banner photo for that website or for your Facebook says it all. Those little trash bags, they're packed to the hilt. It's not like there's like two little pieces of paper in there. They're packed.
Yes. I say on average I get 10 per bag, but I would probably say it's more like 20.
Yeah.
I pack them pretty full.
Get them in there.
Yeah.
How do you paddle with the pack that full? Good Lord.
You know what? It is the coolest thing ever. I almost use it. It's like a challenge. So I balance it. I don't even tie it on there. It's not even tied on. Everybody's like, "How do you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know. Old Blue and I are just in sync, you know."
Yeah.
I set it there and I balance it the best I can, and I've had great luck with it. We'll
Yeah.
just say that. So
Keep it up.
And the name of the nonprofit is?
Cleaner Kentucky Inc.
Very good. Okay. And you can look them up on the Secretary of State's website. For the Secretary of State, they're an official entity, and you can make your checks payable to them, or you can. And you're waiting on a PO box. So where do they send a check, or would you rather them go through social media or the PayPal to make a donation?
Social media or the PayPal would be great for now,
Okay.
because the address is also my home residence.
Yeah,
So
you don't want to give that out, I'm sure, right now. But I'm
No,
sure that's
but-
on the Secretary of State stuff too. But
It is.
I'm trying to look for the GoFundMe on the Facebook.
Now the PayPal give is only for nonprofits, so that's helpful too. So
Yep.
if people make a donation through there, it is already tax deductible because it's already been verified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
PayPal.
Very good. That's awesome. Any closing comments from you, Steve?
No, I mean, I'm ready to give a little review about some of the good news we have coming out this week in our paper that'll be released tomorrow. It was already Wednesday. These weeks move fast.
Yeah.
You know, we have, of course, the city council has scheduled another date for the public hearing on the occupational tax. So that's, you know, kind of big news here as people want to kind of voice their opinions about, you know, the tax in its own right and, you know, what it goes to fund if it's passed. Of course, we always have our wonderful community calendar. You know, it's really grown into
Sure
something
has.
really a useful tool. It's not just that, you know, one or two things on the right side hidden in the thing. It's almost like a half or full page sometimes of all the wonderful things going on there. So if you're, a person that's here and like, well, there's nothing to do here. I mean, and you haven't picked up that paper and said, oh, there is things to do here. And it's all together. It's not like you had to go out and on social media and find all these events. It's laid out on one sheet for there. Of course, we had our monthly school board meeting, and that was a good opportunity for not only talking about some of the high school construction updates, but also got to recognize our state or our regional champion baseball team, the Green Waves, who made it state and gave it a good go, but they were recognized in that. And of course, always the fun things like the pet of the week. I always like seeing who that animal is. And
yeah, I saw that.
And it's always a beautiful thing to take care of our furry friends and our environment. So it's going to be a great. I kind of got a sneak peek.
Sure.
Of this week's issue coming out, and it's great. It's all good stuff.
I saw it as well. I think the animal shelter's doing a great job in Meade County, trying to it's gone from a kill shelter to a no kill shelter, and working with a lot of foster agencies to try to place a lot of these animals as best they can. It's not a good situation, but I will comment to our judge executive. He said, if people can see how we treat our animals, then they'll know how we treat our people in Meade County. And I would say probably for Whitney, if you see how we treat our rivers, then you know how we'll treat our lands in Meade County.
Yes.
We want to be clean. So again, I appreciate Whitney kind of being here today and sharing her story, and we'll continue following her for this national campaign that we'll launch here in the future and help her on her journey for, what we all truly want is a cleaner Kentucky. I mean,
and
absolutely.
I greatly appreciate you all having me.
Yeah.
Oh, we're glad to have you. I'm looking forward to doing some more work with you, Whitney. I know I'm not in studio right now. I'm up visiting my dad and mom. They're up in Pennsylvania. I've got this German backdrop because Earlene's not here. My mom and dad served. He was in the military, served in Germany. So I've got all of his medals on the back wall from runs that he did running. And my mom had done runs where they did 10Ks and 5Ks and all that other stuff. And they've got all these cool German memorabilia behind me. But that's my backdrop this week. So. But you guys look great there. Stephen, thanks for what you do for the paper. Whitney, I think you have an amazing story. I not only think that it's a pleasure to see you get recognized by the people, but I know God has got his hand on you, and he's doing some amazing things through you. So, Jesus is good, man. I think that when you see goodness like what you guys are doing, and Stephen himself, I know his hand is placed on him as well. He does so much for our community. I'm just trying to be as good as you guys every day, knowing that we have people like you out there, and just making sure that this platform is highlighting them. So keep up the great work. You're doing amazing stuff.
Honored to do it, and it comes from much greater than me, because most people don't love to go out and pick up trash. You know what I mean?
I do.
I love it, and that's how I know it's my soul's purpose.
Well, we'll see what we can do to help grow that following within our region, if not in our nation. Keep up the great work. Steve, final thought as I close out with the music.
We miss you, so come on back once you're done with family vacation so we can move on to the summer. You got a lot of 4th of July stuff coming up, a very patriotic holiday, and and looking forward to what stories we can share with the public about the great community we live in.
Absolutely.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you to your dad for his service.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it runs in the family. I finished and retired, and then I got into this. So Stephen as well. But yes, thank you. We are ready to wrap up today's episode. What a great show, guys! If you're listening in, check out her page. It's freaking awesome. Look at her kayak and just look at what she's doing. You can do this too. Sunkyst Sticks and Stones, and that's Sun. KYST, Sticks and Stones on Facebook. Make a donation, help her cause. If you're one of our local dealers and you catch this, hey, she needs a vehicle to make some of these runs. And whether it's 5 kayaks show up or 2 kayaks, if each kayak walks out of a river looking like the one on her main page, I'm telling you, you're making a difference.
Okay.
You're making a difference for everything. The only final comments I have is keep posted. We have lots of giveaways that are coming out for Holiday World on our Facebook. Sean and Elijah have been working hard, putting some social media posts out for that. I think we can do one surrounding support for this. If you bring in a bag of trash from the river or pick up a bag of trash from the river. We could probably enter you to win. We can come up with something, or if you show up for the next Meade County riverfront to pick up trash with us or something, we could do something.
Yep.
But I'm gonna make sure we get that coordinated with you, Whitney, before you leave today, and see if we can't pick a date on the calendar, and I'll show up and float and pick, or just go down by the bank and pick whatever it takes with some of our waterways and make a difference. But thank you so much for being on the show, guys. Stephen, as always, great work, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You guys have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Step right up and join the ride. It's the